Hello, and we are continuing with today the color palette project, and in the previous video we were able to finish iteration 2, which is allowing the user to change a slider and for the color red. So we go now to iteration number 3. And in iteration 3, I really need to learn handwriting, right? In iteration 3, we follow our steps: problem formulation, and in the problem formulation we define the scope. So what's the scope of this iteration? So I did the red color, so we can go ahead and say let's add green. So use green in addition to red. To mix the color. So let's go ahead and start formulating the solution. And in the solution formulation, I follow the model view controller design pattern, also known as MVC. And in the model now I added green, so I still have all my model from before. If I discovered any change, I can go ahead and add the change, but here I need to display the green. So the green is a decimal value, so I'm going to use the float library type in order to display the green. And the rest of the model is unchanged. So rest of model unchanged. In the view, I need to add a slider for green, and I need to connect that slider as an outlet so that we can retrieve its value, and an action so that when the user moves the green slider, the color changes as well. And then the controller describes what the app will do and when the app will do it. The app will need to retrieve the green value, construct the color from the green value, from green and red, and use the color for to set the background for the view. When should we do that? This will be done at 2 times, or 2 different events can trigger this. When the red value change, like the previous iteration, and now when the green value change. At any of these events, these steps should happen, as well as the steps from the previous iteration. The third step is the solution implementation. So what do I need to do? I need to add a slider to the view. I need to connect the slider to the change color action, because I already have the function in the controller that handles this, the change color. It is already connected to the red, so all what I need to do is to connect the green to it. I don't need to make a new one because the steps are the same. And then connect the slider as an outlet property, and then retrieve the green value, change the color creation to use the green value, and then finally, actually the third step is already there. The color to be set as a background, it's already there. I don't need to do anything. So that's the steps that I need to do for this iteration. So let's go ahead and do it. So back to Xcode, open the navigation and switch to the storyboard. And I need to bring the utility area. So I need to add another slider here. So grab the slider and add it. And set the attributes. I'm going to change the color here to green and leave the others the same. And that's all what I need to do. Then I bring the assistant editor to make the connections. So the change color is already connected to the red slider. So I take from that change color, go to the green slider and see how it is highlighted, then release. And that establish a connection. You can hover over the circle next to the change color and you can see what is it connected to. And you want to make sure it is connected to both the red and the green. Now we need to connect the green slider as an outlet property. So control, drag, and this is an outlet, and we're gonna call this slide green, and the type is green slider, and then connect. So again, it creates another variable. Var is responsible, or basically means allocate or create memory location that has a size capable to handle a UI slider type. Name that memory location slide green, and we know that there is a possibility that this can be empty. Weak has something to do with the memory storage. You don't have to worry yourself about it for now. Outlet means this is a connection to the view. Good? So now I made the connection. I don't need the assistant editor. I need now to go to the controller and modify the instructions in the change color to retrieve the value of the green slider, create the color using the green and the red, and do the other one. So I will say here 1.2, retrieve the value of the green slider. So let green value slide green dot value. Why did I write this so quickly? Because it's exactly the same as the red. We already did the red and spent some time explaining that I go to the slider green, which is the UI slider memory location that is directly connected to the component. Hit the dot to retrieve the members or to see a list of the members. One of them is value, which call the value, current value of the slider. The assignment operator will assign it to a local variable or memory. I create new one using the let, and I use the let because I'm not going to assign any other value to green after this instruction, and I specified the type explicitly as float. Now creating the color is now using red. I'm just going to add green to it here. So instead of 0 for the green, I'm going to use this green value. And I learned already that I have to convert the value from float to the type CG float. So I'll just do that directly. No need to go through the hassle again like we did in the previous one. So green value. And now the color is created using both the red value and the green value. Still blue is 0, so I'm only mixing the red and the green. Alpha is 1, otherwise you're not going to see anything. And then this third step is unchanged because the new color is now created using both of them, so assigning it as a background is not going to change. So now I have both of them. If I move the green, so here is a green, it's actually a mix of green and red. Let me put red completely to 0. This is the full green color. Now let's bring red to the mix. You see started the effect here started to come until you have full red. That makes the yellow. Move the green back, so that's giving you more of the orange grades, and go back to the red, and so on. So the user now can create a color of their choice using any value for the red and the green. And that completes this iteration, and we're done with it. So we'll move on to the next iteration, and we'll do that in another video.